Are you worthy of her? Do you deserve the love she brings? All those who desire of her must desire discipline. It's a blessing to know her. All the things you can desire don't compare to her. She's wisdom. Kings may mention of her. They wrote songs and proverbs of her. Forever she will remain. Wisdom is her name. So just meditate on the worst thing I say. Don't you know wisdom is a chief thing? Many have searched but they can't find her.
Alright, Shalom family, Most High in Christ bless you all. So today you are in for a special treat. In this video, we are going to be doing a canning session. So I have actually invited some of my sisters over and we are going to be doing some canning together. So you are going to see how we can chicken and salmon raw pack from start to finish. Let's get started. All right, so here's all my jars. I'm about to go through the sterilizing process, and I like to sterilize my jars in a pot of boiling water. So here's my water here, and my water bath canner is already boiling. And then I had some assistants washing all my jars out here, and they fill with hot water so that when I put my jars in, the water level in my pot will go up. So as I'm putting all my jars in, the water level continue to go up. Once it gets full enough, then I can let some of the water out. So see how that water level is coming up now? And I'm old school, so that's why I like to do mine in a pot of water. You can wash yours and put your wet jars in the oven to sterilize them. Let your oven preheat to 275 and then let them sit in there in the oven at 115 for 15 minutes. All right, so now we see my water level is going up over the jars. I can fit one more jar in there, but I'm gonna pour the water out. This last one, so I think I should put that in. Once I push it down in there, the water will start going in there, and there you go. So I was able to fit 8 jars in here, and to make it boil faster, I'll keep my lid on. So I'll let that boil for 15 minutes. Since I'm doing a lot of jars, what I'm gonna do is, if I'm doing hot pack, once this is done, I'm gonna put them on the pan and put them in the oven and keep them hot. So I can keep a large amount of jars hot at one time. All right, so now these have been boiling. So I'm gonna take these out. And I am raw packing, so I don't need hot jars. So I'm just gonna let these sit here for a while and cool off until I'm ready. And that's how you do that. So if I was hot packing, I would already have my food ready, hot, so that as soon as I take these out of the water bath canner and set these up, I'm ready to put my food right in there. But for raw packing, I'm just gonna take them out and I'm gonna let them sit and air dry and cool off. Hey, shalom family. Today we're gonna do a quick video on how to pressure can from start to finish. So I have two of my sisters here helping me. We have Sister Eliana from
my sister Ayana.
Alright, so Sister Ayana, she's gonna pressure can some chicken, and Sister Eliana, there we go, she's gonna be pressure canning salmon. So yeah, so our pressure canners here, we already have the jars. You already want to have them washed and sterilized. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay. All right. So we're gonna do Sister Eliana first with her jars. Now she likes onions and garlic in her jars with her salmon. That's what we're gonna do here first. Put her onions and garlic in. With your fish or chicken, you can season it however you like. If you want jerk, you want to put jerk seasoning on it. If you want to add some onions, garlic, or pepper, or something like that, just put that on. Now when you put the fish in though, what you want to do is you want to put it in with the skin side out. Okay? So usually we'll lay it to the side and then kind of put the fish around.
You can't really see it, sis.
Okay. Alright, so now we just want to lay the fish in, kind of hold the jar kind of sideways. And then layer it all the way around like this. And pack it in the jars like that. Exactly. So, and I'm just layering it in on top of each other like that, like so. Now she has hers cut into nice small pieces here. So I just want to slide it in like that. You can see. And we're going to do that all around. Is it a hot one nice piece for the middle here? And then we can put this in sideways. And got two left? Yeah. That's it. Sit one down the middle. There's something running there. Smaller. Move back a little along. Kind of press it down, that's fine. Actually, that's pretty good. Good. So you got you 1.5 inch head space there. So that's good. You don't want to pack it too much to the top because when your juices come up, then it could you know, mess with the lid, mess up the seal, you know, while it's when it's cooking in the pressure can. So this is good. Just like that. That was a lot of pieces. So she's gonna put a little bit more onions on the top and seasoning. All right. Stop it for a second. All right. So now she's got some more fish here. She's gonna put it's bigger pieces. So with your bigger fillets, you can put the big side in first. And then that way your smaller pieces, you kind of fold it over inside. And then looks like we could probably fit one more nice piece in there in this jar. Yep, nice packed in there. All right, let me see. Okay, see that looks good. Turn it around, let me see. Yep.
It's a little space down there.
If you got one little small little piece of fish, can go right there.
Well, I'm gonna cut this one
Yep,
down.
you can cut a little piece and just.
My lemon peel.
Yep, and then we're gonna slide that in that little pocket right there. There you go. Let that fall over the top. Good. Perfect. All right. So we good on that. So now we got 2 jars, and we're gonna do the rest of these, and we'll come back. All right. So now we're gonna work with Sister Ayana here with her chicken. Now the question was posed: do we need to have hot jars for this? So for when raw packing, you don't want to have hot jars. The whole idea is cold food, cold jars, cold water in the canner, so everything can come up to temperature at the same time.
And I already cut the
Okay.
Before I was using a pint-sized jar, so I had just went ahead and cooked it.
So we probably can use 2 quart-size jars. Is that what you like to do? Okay. So we're gonna do the same like we did with hers. Kind of turn it to the side. Big piece down first. And if you lean it kind of toward the side a little bit, then that gives you a little bit more leverage. Now, let me see. This piece alternated just like they do in the store. So let's put big side down there.
Little side, big side.
Little side there. Okay. And then you probably can fit 2 more pieces in like that. So big side down there. Okay. Yep. And then the next one, you can put the little side down. Okay. Yeah, let's scoot this one to the side a little bit. Hold on. Let's see. See how that linked over? So that's why I like to keep them on the side, so you can maneuver a little bit easier. And that's why it's good to have wide mouth jars when you're doing chicken. Now see how that fit in there? Good. Yep. So now you see how that fits in there? Big side, little side, big side, little side. And it fits nice and flush in the bottom of the jar.
Is that
now?
good?
Yeah, so now you can probably fit a piece sideways on the top. I would probably do, well, let me
This
see.
one's small.
Yeah, if you can find a piece that'll lay down flat in there. Yep, there you go. And do you have another one? Can we go for one more? Let's see. Oh, and you can. No. Okay, no, we won't push it. That's okay. That's all right. So
It'll still soon.
yep, it will. So she's got a little bit of extra room. So now, if you were like what I do is I normally have like a wet marinade. So she has some extra juice in the bottom of her bowl from the marinade. I would just kind of fill it in with that. So that's what I would do. So now let's do another one. Yep, okay.
You want me to add
So
it on top?
let's do this one first. Small side. Yep. Big side, and then you can fit one nice piece in there. Yep. Put the small side down first. Yep.
You need to switch it because the bone
You want to try the other side? You can try the other side. If you see it might work better the other way, that's good. Then that means you'll have more room on the top. Yep, okay. So then now you got more room to fit some other pieces in there. So when I pack my chicken and fish, it's almost like a puzzle. So you want to figure out the best way to fit. So now you can see the gaps. So now we can fit some more chicken in here like this. You do not, for your chicken legs, you don't have to cut off the bottom piece.
They just didn't fit.
Right, so let me see something. So you see how you got that dip down in there? I would put that straight down like this. And then you can probably fit another piece right there. And then that should be good for this jar. Yep. Yep. Yep, so that works good for that jar. It's nice and packed tight in there.
That looks good.
Good, yep, that looks nice. Okay, and then looks like you got enough for a pint-sized jar.
Dang, I sure would have bought some more chicken. I was going to be over here making jars worth.
I would do the big piece. We'll do the big piece first. And let me see. Okay. I'll put the fat side out. That should go good. Yep, turn it the other way. You see how that space down here? Yeah. Oh, wait.
Don't
wait,
squish
no,
the
yeah,
chicken.
turn this one back the other way. Okay. And let me see this one. Turn this one upside down. I know it sounds silly, but
Take this out.
Yeah. Okay, now turn it the other way. You see how that? There's still an air on the bottom.
Over here.
Okay. So you just want to play with it and so it make sure it fits in there the best way. Okay. So yeah, we got a little bit from the top, but
Too little space.
it's okay. It'll be okay. So now, once we've done that, now we want to debubble.
No marinade.
Yeah, you have no marinade. So now you know how to debubble?
Yes.
Let me see that. Let me see
But I
you do
didn't know
that.
you debubbled chicken if it wasn't any liquid in there.
Yes, you still have to do that. You still want to do that.
And is this?
See this side?
What does that do?
So what that does
how
is
long do I
get
do
any
that with
excess. She's gonna have air pockets because she's got them down at the bottom. But when you know these are probably gonna, you're trying to get the air out the sides to help out the pressure canning process, because that's what it's gonna do. It's gonna push all the air to the. It's gonna push all the air to the top. You can't see me no way. So yeah, so you want to. So yeah, so you want to go all the way around and try to help it out by debubbling it, getting all the excess bubbles out. Okay. Yep,
I'm like, I don't see
that's
the bubbles,
good.
so I don't know how to do
But
it.
it's okay, yeah. Yep. So you can do that all the way around. Alright. And the same thing with the salmon.
I should have had this nice view with the skin. Did I do this?
All right. Yep. I think you did that. Yep, you did that one. All right. So, Ileana. Ready? All right. So we're gonna do the same process. So it's just like Ileana about how to do that. So yep.
Do I push it in when I do that?
Yep. You just kind of push it down to make sure it's trying to fill in all the spaces. Okay. Yep. All the way around the side. So that should be good. Yep. Same thing. So when you push it down, you can hear the process of the pockets, the air pockets coming out. It's gonna be some good salmon.
I'm gonna put chipotle into them.
Okay, that should be good on that. All right. So yep, we're gonna do all the jars the same way. Want me to hold it?
Please, thank you. So as you do this, do you push it down and then into the center? No?
You don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to. This is just helping everything kind of be more compacted and get all the air to come to the top. All right, so that's good. And you see all your juices kind of go down. All right, good. Okay, that's good. So now what I like to do with my jars, especially when you got a mess like this with salmon and all of this is kind of messy. So I wet a paper towel first, a regular wet paper towel, and I go on the inside and I go all the way around like this. And I'm cleaning all of this excess off. So I'm gonna clean as much of this off as I can first. Just a regular wet paper towel. So I'm gonna do this on all of the jars. And then, hand me that little bowl right there. So you wanna wipe until you see that it's kind of clean. Then I'm gonna take a clean paper towel and I'm gonna dip some vinegar. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna clean the top of those rims. Make sure there's no residue on the outside, on the tops of these lids. Okay. So that helps. If you clean it with a wet paper towel first, then go back on it and make sure it's squeaky clean with the vinegar. Okay. So we're gonna do this to all of these jars and then come back and show you how we put the lids on. All right, so same thing with Sister Ayana here. She's gonna clean the outside of her rims with just a regular paper towel. Some more vinegar. That's okay, just more vinegar here. Actually, looks like it's ready. So you mainly want to get the tops. So what you're doing when you're cleaning them, you are not only cleaning them, but when you rub the vinegar around it, you are checking to see if there's any chips, and it's a flat surface. So run it over there one more time. You got vinegar on that edge, so you want to make sure it's squeaky. You can have it a little wetter than that, and then you just kind of want to. It's the top, because this is where your lids are going to be with the seal. So that's good to go. We're going to do your other two. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so now what we want to do, we have our lids here. So they've already been boiling, the lids. So what we want to do is go ahead and take the lids out with your top here. So yeah, get the flat part. Yeah, be careful, that's hot. And then you want to just place it on top of the jar like this, just like that. You can touch it. Make sure it's centered right on the top of there. So I'm gonna let you do one. So yeah, just right on the inside. Yeah, there you go. Yep, there we go. So just right there, just get that one. No, you want to get the inside of it, that's fine. Okay. Yep, and turn it right on. There you go. All right. And now you can get yours too. Should be another one in there. There you go. Teamwork make the dream work. In this case, it's a little wiggles. So you want the other one? Okay, right here. Oh, that was I did that right perfect. Go ahead. You can get it. Here, let me see. Just take your time with it. And then you got your lids. And it's a finger tight, right? Yeah, fingertip tight. You can, it's safe to use that metal thing still too, but they're not really hot. Nope. Oh no? Nope, that's too tight. Oh, yeah. You're gonna be tempted to do that. Don't do that. All you do is this. That's it. Okay. That's it. Oh, well, that's not hot. I told you it's hot. What are you doing? Trying to hurt yourself?
That's good.
Okay, one more. Don't you do that.
So used to that. So wait. Okay,
yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. If I can do this. I mean, if it got a little bit of resistance, I want to bear down on it and give it that extra. Don't give it that extra. Okay. Yep. And I got one more for you. Get the jars in the canner. So remember, you want about 2 inches of water. To start off with cold water. You don't even have your eye on. So we're going to go ahead and place the jars in the canner. And put those around the side here. Always keep your plate in the bottom. there. Go ahead. You can put some more water in there. So yes, we're gonna have 4 jars in there. You don't want the pint-sized jar and the quart-sized jars. That's 2 different processing times. So we're gonna do that together with yeah, we're gonna do that in another session. So this is good. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and get the lid on.
Should I get more water?
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so cold water, cold food, cold jars, cold water, and it's gonna come up to temperature together. All right, so on the weighted one, you got a gas stove. You want that on high, okay? And we are going to wait until this is the fish. Now, if you're gonna can your fish in quart-sized jar, make sure if your canner does not, your instruction manual for your canner doesn't have the time, you need to look it up because it's not the same for a pint-sized jar. For a quart-sized jar, you need to process this for 160 minutes. That's 2 hours and 40 minutes. All right, so we're gonna let this sit and we're gonna watch for this to heat up. And remember, everything is cold. So it's gonna take a little while, be patient, and let the steam come on out of there. Okay, and we'll be back. Go ahead, start over.
So once it heats up and it starts to steam, do we start timing the, counting the time based on the steam? And we put the weight, the pressure.
Okay, I got it. So good question. So,
or do we start counting from the time we turn it on?
No. Okay. So you want to start. So you don't start the timer until it reaches the weighted time for this. So when we looked it up, it was 10 pounds. So what we're doing now, all we're doing now is we need to get the water boiling inside. So that's why we're gonna let this vent. We're gonna watch a steady stream of steam come out of here. Once we see that, then we're gonna set our timer to 10 minutes. We're gonna let that vent for 10 minutes. Then we put our weight on there, and then we watch it go to the time, the weight that we need it to, whether it be 10 or 11 pounds for this particular pressure canner. Once it reaches that pressure, then we're gonna turn our eye down because we want it to stay steady at that pressure point. So we don't want it to go no higher, we don't want it to fall no lower. So once it hits that point, then we turn our fire down, keep it steady, and then we start our timer for 160 minutes.
And how do you know what pressure it'll be?
It's gonna stay right there. So we looked that up, remember?
Okay.
So the so yes, it was 10 pounds at 160 minutes. So right now the step is to leave it on high and watch that steam come out of there. Okay? And then once the steam comes out, what we're gonna do?
Wait for a steady time of 10 minutes.
A steady stream come out of here first, and then what?
Then you're gonna put the weight on it.
Nope. So we want steam to come out of there first.
Yeah. And then
first,
time it
yeah,
for
first,
10 minutes.
Well, first it's gonna kind of poot out, little poot, steam. But we want a steady stream of steam. Once it does start shooting out of there, nice and strong, nope, we're gonna time it for 10 minutes. And we want a steady stream to come out of there for 10 minutes before we put our weight on it. Okay, all right, good.
Okay, so my question was, with the amount of chicken I brought, it was only enough for these 2 quart sizes and then 1 pint. But I was asking, I didn't want to go through the entire process of canning for only 2 quart size and 1 pint, and those cannot be pressure canned together. So my question was, can you go through this full process, packing your jars, putting your lids on, and perhaps putting them in the fridge until you pack more jars to actually fill the canner, maybe at a later time?
Right. So that was a great question. So, that is the great thing about raw packing. So because your jars need to be cold when you raw pack. So the good thing about that is that yes, if you need to put if you have a whole bunch of meat and you can't fit, say you have 12 quart size jars of chicken and only 7 fit in your canner, you can put the other 3 in your refrigerator until you get ready to do it again. So yes, you can store this in a refrigerator until you are ready to put it in your pressure canner.
So when you're ready to pressure can it, right, you'll have to take it out the fridge and let it get room temperature?
You can just start it with cold water.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
So you just remember, your jars are cold, your food is cold, your jars are cold. You need to start with cold water and let everything come up to the temperature at the same time. All right, so we got Ayana's chicken in here. So ideally, you do want to have more jars. If you're gonna run your pressure canner, just go ahead and pack it. But for right now, we do have the 2 jars in here. If you're worried about your jars moving around, you can fill up some empty quart jars and just sit them in there, and that way they'll be more packed, so you don't have to worry about them moving around. But it's fine, they'll be just fine, just like this. You don't have to do that. Also, yes, we do want to put some vinegar. So this is just leftover vinegar we had cleaning the rims, and then we're gonna go ahead and put the top on there, and you just line it up. There we go. And then just, twist it. There we go. And the same thing, we are gonna let it get up to, it's not on yet, right? We're gonna turn it on. This is our tabernacle, and we're gonna leave it at high. And then when it comes up, now chicken and the quart size jars is 90 minutes with the bone in. All right, yeah,
no.
90 minutes.
Wet bone is 75.
Okay. All right, yeah, 75 minutes. So we're gonna let this heat up and let the steam come out. Okay, so it's gonna take a little bit of time because everything is cold in here. All right, so we'll do that. All right, so that is a steady stream. So at this time, we went ahead and set the timer. Okay. So that's what you want to see. It's been going like this for a little bit. So if it's flickering after a little while, it's been going, that's fine. So now we set the timer for 10 minutes. Then after that, we're going to put the lid on. All right, so it's been 10 minutes. And so now we're going to go ahead and put the weight on here. Okay, so we just put the weight right on top of there. And we're going to leave the fire on high until this goes up to 11. Okay, so you see the pressure's already starting to build up in there. So when the pressure point hits 11, then we're going to go ahead and start adjusting the heat so it can stay at that particular pressure point. Okay. All right, so now it's got already up to 12 real quick. So what we want to do is go ahead and start adjusting the temperature to calm it down a little bit. So let's turn that down a little bit. All right, so let's see how that does. We want to make sure that we turn it down some. You see that was already all the way on high. I turned it down some. Let's see if it kind of calms down like that. If it stays steady, then we'll go ahead and start the timer. 160 minutes. All right, so now Sister Ayana's chicken. On her canner, It's a steady stream, but this is finally popped up. And it's a steady stream coming out here. So now we set our timer for 10 minutes. We're going to let this come out for 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, we're going to go ahead and put her weight on top of here. After 10 minutes.
But it doesn't have to.
Alright, so we have Ayana's pressure cooker. Now her weight is not moving or wiggling or anything, but it's all the way up. So we want to go ahead and adjust it. And she said hers didn't do it. So we want to go ahead and adjust the eye and turn it down some. And let's see, get that pressure regulated. So we're gonna wait a little bit, see if it starts falling a little bit to get closer to 11, and then we'll make sure that the fire is at the right temperature, and then we'll go ahead and start the timer for 75 minutes for her bone-in chicken quart-size jar. So it looks like it's going down already. So yeah, it don't wiggle, but that's why you want to keep an eye on it, you know, and you'll get used to your pressure, whatever particular pressure canner you have, and your stove and all of that stuff. It plays a part. So
we have like 3 different ones in here. This one is different than that one and that one.
Yep. All right, so we have Sister Ayana's, her chicken is in here, or the chicken is in here. So her pressure is all the way down to 0, but this is a safety feature. It's still up, so you don't want to even try. As a matter of fact, it shouldn't even open with this up right here. But that just goes to show you, just because like hers is on 0, you need to wait till this is all the way down. That lets you know the pressure is completely out before you attempt to take the lid off. So we're waiting for it to cool, and then we'll take the jars out, and then we'll be all done. Right, and this is Sister Ileana's salmon. The timer's gone off, so it's been 160 minutes. We're just waiting for the pressure to go down on hers, all the way down to 0. And on this one, once it gets down to 0, then we will take the weight off, and then we'll unscrew it. But we won't take the weight off, because that will force the pressure cannon to the steam to release prematurely. So we'll wait till it gets all the way to 0, and then we'll take the weight off, and then unscrew the lid, take the jars out, and let them sit. All right. So I thought I was recording her take the jars out, but I didn't. So this is, she's taking all the jars out. As you can see, we put, at first it was 2 jars in there. We hurried up and went ahead and packed some chicken so we can utilize the space. So 5 of these are mine, and 2 is these 2 here. Sister Ayana. So when you see they're bubbling, that is good. When you hear it popping, that is good, because that means they're sealing. But we got one here that is not bubbling. What you were gonna do is leave it alone.
Out of 7.
Because it's gonna be okay. It might be okay. Just keep an eye on it. Just keep an eye on it. So that's what we got. We're gonna.
You think maybe the amount of space, because there was more space in this one than this? No.
No,
yeah, I think so. Because look, yours are all nice and full. This one is nice and filled. This is the only one that is not.
It nice probably what could have happened was that. All right. So I thought I was recording her take the jars out, but I didn't. So this is, she's taking all the jars out. As you can see, we put, at first it was 2 jars in there. We hurried up and went ahead and packed some chicken so we can utilize the space. So 5 of these are mine, and 2 is these 2 here. Sister Ayana. So when you see they're bubbling, that is good. When you hear it popping, that is good, because that means they're sealing. But we got one here that is not bubbling. What you were gonna do is leave it alone.
Out of 7.
Because it's gonna be okay. It might be okay. Just keep an eye on it. Just keep an eye on it. So that's what we got. We're gonna.
You think maybe the amount of space, because there was more space in this one than this? No. No, yeah, I think so. Because look, yours are all nice and full. This one is nice and filled. This is the only one that is not.
It
nice
probably what could have happened was up like this, and some of the juice overflow out. So that could be what happened. It looked like the lids are concave.
Yeah, it did.
So it probably got a good seal on it.
Can I wipe this off? No.
Huh?
Can I wipe the liquid off the top? No.
Alright. So mine is still going with chicken in it. I got 50 minutes. Sister Ileana's is ready. So I'm gonna let her get the food there. We're going first. It's all the way down to 0. We're gonna take the weight off of there, and we're gonna take the lid off. Put it right over there, right? Alright, so look at there. That's the salmon. Smells good. Looks fine. Wrong way. Alright, so we're going to take this out and lift it straight up and put it on the towel. Straight down. Look at that. Ooh, look at all that salmon.
Like the chipotle one. Yeah, that's the chipotle.
So this has been going for 160 minutes. That's 2 hours and 40 minutes. Salmon and pork, y'all. We got some chipotle ones here. So that looks good. We're gonna let that sit. We didn't lose any juice. Doesn't overflow in the pot. Your first time canning, right?
First time canning, but I'm still not confident, so I'll do it again though.
Right, so nothing exploded.
Right, I just need to keep a watch on the time and then just go through the process. So it'll be okay.
Okay.
It's exciting.
The fruit of your labor shows. It's evident in everything. You showed us how to keep the laws. Repentant souls, kingdom calls. Strengthening the family bond. You showed us we're worthy. We're no longer worldly. Now it's time for us to stand strong. Oh, we gotta hold on. Trials sometimes last so long. Yes, they do. But every time we make it through, we come more stronger, a little wiser. Now every day is brighter. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father, Father.